Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to come on. I've been missing for a week. I haven't been feeling well. I had a sore throat from my sinuses draining, but I'm feeling a little better. I wanted to come on. I didn't want to wait too long to come back on, so let's get started. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know I just picked up the new Soft Glam palette. I had been kind of back and forth on whether or not I wanted to get the palette, only because you know, it's a really basic palette, and to be honest, I really don't wear eyeshadows on an everyday basis. So I wasn't really sure if I wanted to get the palette, but then I went inside Sephora and I was swatching the palette and I said, okay, I have to go ahead and get it. So that's what I did. So looking at the palette online, like I said, it really didn't catch my eye, but looking at it in stores is what really caught my eye. And oh, my brush fell. So I went ahead and picked it up, and I know you've probably seen the palette 1,000,001 times on YouTube, and it's probably old news at this point because makeup moves like that. But I'll just show you, you know, give you a quick view of my palette if you have not seen it yet. So the palette comes with a mirror. It's a nice size mirror, and then these are the shades on the palette. It's a nice black. It has nice warm tones. It also has some cool shades. This dark brown here is a nice cool shade. I really do like the palette. Of course, I have not played in the palette yet, but I'm excited to play in this palette. I really don't know which look I'm going to do. I just want to kind of like dig in and play with it and see, you know, get my feel for the palette. So that's what we'll be doing today. And yeah. So first I'm going to start off with priming my face, and I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. I like to prime my eyes or all over my face. And then I'm going to be going in with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Caramel. I'm just going to try to use as much colors as possible just to really get a feel for the different colors that they have that's in this palette. And yeah, so I think I'm going to start off with the second to lightest shade, and I'm going to go in with Orange Soda. Orange Soda is not a new color. I actually have it in the individual. And I'm just going to be using a fluffy brush all over. Orange Soda is pretty much like a orange, kind of like an orange sherbet color. It's really pretty and a really nice crease color. I think it's a nice crease color. It's like the same, it's like the same color as my lid. It just gives a little bit of a little tint to my crease, but nothing much, and that's just because it's about the same shade as me. So next I'll be going in with Burnt Orange. Let's see, I'll go in my crease using that same fluffy brush. Now I did decide to go ahead and start off with my eyes, only because the palettes, Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, have a little fallout, which is not a big deal, but you do want to keep that in mind when you are purchasing this palette and doing your makeup with this palette. Next I'll be using my new Sephora brush. This is the Featherweight brush, Featherweight crease brush, and I'll be taking Rustic. I'll be taking Rustic in the crease. It's a nice neutral brown, medium tone brown. It's picking up a little bit more orange on camera, but it's a nice like neutral brown. So looking at this palette, I feel like it's a nice medium between a warm and a neutral palette. So now I'm going to go in with my Sephora taper crease brush, and I'm going to go in to Cypress Umber, this really pretty kind of medium brown shade. I feel like this shade here could really work for filling in your brows, because like I said, these shades in here are not too warm and they're not too cool either. I'm going to use that in the crease as well as the outer corner, just to kind of like deepen up the eye look. So now I'm going to take the previous Sephora brush that I was using, and I feel like I want it to be a little bit more of a kind of orangey tone, brick tone within my crease. So I'm going to go in with that shade Sienna. Sienna is a nice kind of brickish red tone. It's not too red, and it's kind of like a red brown shade. So I'm going to go on above the socket to kind of warm up that crease. I think I want to go into this mulberry shade right here and kind of just deepen up that outer corner. So now I can't decide which shimmer I want to use. We have bronze, we have sultry, we have rose pink, we have fairy, and then we have glistening. Some really pretty shades. I can't decide which one I want to use. I think I want to go with sultry. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my Mario Badescu spray and spray my brush just to kind of get it a little bit more wet, to get a little damp, so I can pick up and kind of intensify that shimmer shade. So now I think I want to go ahead and take in place glistening on the center of my lid, just to kind of give it a little bit more pop. I feel like because it has that little bit of pink in that color, that it's going to mesh well with sultry, that shimmer, that kind of burgundy shimmer shade. That is so pretty. It's like a really kind of gilded gold. It's really pretty. And I think I want to add just a tad bit of this black. It's called Noir. It looks like a really nice black, so I just want to add a little bit of that in the outer corner. Just a smidge, just to kind of like deepen it up and give it a more of a sultry look. I think I mentioned in my last video is that I'm a little scared of black, so I'm taking a little bit at a time. So now I'm just going to go in with my Maybelline gel liner in the color black, and I'm just going to line my upper lash line. So now I have my liner on. I'm going to go ahead and put on some lashes. These are the Kiss Lash Triple Push-Up Collection. This is in the style Corset. Never tried these lashes before, but I wanted to give them a try. They have a nice thick band, which I kind of makes it easier for me to put on lashes because I suck at putting on lashes. So I wanted to give these a try and see if these are something that I may like. So I'm going to put these on as well, and I'll be back. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is do my brows. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. This is in the color medium brown. This is actually my first time ever using Anastasia's eyebrow pencil, or any eyebrow product for that matter. Okay, Okay, so they don't look the best, but I'm going to clean them up. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and put on my foundation, and I'll be right back to finish up my face. Now I have my foundation on. I have on the Bobbi Brown Skin Long-Wear Weightless Foundation, and then I also have on my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer under my eyes, and I also used it to highlight as well. So now I'm going to move on with bronzing my skin. I'm going to skip contouring, so I'm just going to bronze, and I'm going to be bronzing with the Jordana Sculpt and Go stick in the color Deep. And I want to go ahead and move forward with setting everything, and I'm going to be setting my under eye and everywhere I place that concealer with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. Next, I'm going to go ahead and set my bronzer, and I'm going to be setting my bronzer with the Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzing powder. This is in the shade Cappuccino. And then one of the things I've been loving, I haven't used in quite some time, but I definitely have abused it, is the Black Radiance Baked Bronzer. This is in the shade Rose Gold. It is such a pretty rose gold. It's actually a little bit more on the orange side, but it's such a really beautiful color, and it just looks like your skin has just been sun-kissed. It's really beautiful. So I'm just going to take and have a light hand and kind of go over the perimeters of my face. So I think I went a little overkill with the bronzer. You definitely want to make sure you're going in a light hand. Now, sometimes what I like to do is just take and wipe the excess of the powder off in the lid. This is why the lid is so filthy. But that's what I like to do. But I still kind of went a little heavy hand. So that's why I saved the last setting step for last, which is setting my foundation. What I've learned is that you can kind of fix your mistakes or complexion mistakes by going in last with your powder to set your foundation. And that way you can kind of blend everything out and get like a smooth, even finish. So I'm going to be taking the MAC Studio Fix powder foundation. This is in the color NC45, and I'm going to be using that to kind of go all over the skin and set my foundation, and also kind of just airbrush and diffuse any mistakes and any lines, any harsh lines, and contour. So I'll be doing that with a nice fluffy brush. Okay, I think that looks gorgeous. Now I'm going to go in and give myself a little flush. I'm going to be using my NYX Sweet Cheeks palette. I think this is such a beautiful palette at an affordable price. And I think I'm going to take this shade and this shade here and kind of mix them together. And also take this kind of highlighting shade right here and apply that to the apples of my cheek and just kind of pull it back. Now I'm just going to go in with my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in the color Global Glow. This is such a nice kind of pinkish tone highlight, and it's a very subtle highlight. So this is something that I like to go all over the face with. Like I said, this is a very glowy look. It's turned into a very glowy look, so I'm just going to take that with a nice fluffy brush and just kind of give myself a wash of more glow. So I'm going to finish up my eye look, and I'm going to take the same colors I used on my eyes and put them on the lower lash line. So off camera, I went ahead and added the NYX Faux Whites eyeliner pencil, and it's in White Smoke. It's a nice kind of a lavender pastel white. So I added that in my waterline, and I really think it gave it a different feel, a different vibe. I'm going to play off of that look, and I'm going to go in with the Maybelline lip liner in the color Raisin, and I'm just going to line my lips. And then next I'm going to go in with my Maybelline liquid lipstick. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink in the shade Driver. Okay, you guys, that is the completed look. I am really enjoying this look. I really have to give these Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam eyeshadow palette 2 thumbs up, because I definitely think you could create a lot of looks with this. I could just only imagine what other looks I can get out of this palette. So, alright you guys, I'm going to stop rambling, and I thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!